Imagine this. A prominent politician, known for her advocacy, entangled in a web of controversy that leaves many scratching their heads. Welcome to the complex world of Linda Reynolds. Let's dive into a list of facts about her, steering clear of any defamatory statements, but painting a picture that's far from flattering. But here's where it gets controversial. She's taken legal action against a woman who was raped in her office. Yes, you read that right. But let's break it down. In a recent ruling, Western Australian Supreme Court Justice Paul Tottle labeled Brittany Higgins as a victim of one of the most heinous crimes known to law. But Reynolds didn't stop there. She also took legal action against Higgins, claiming she was unfit by reason of a mental condition to attend or give evidence. Talk about a twist. But this is the part most people miss. Reynolds' actions didn't end there. She gave evidence that, according to many, made her seem defensive and evasive. But why? That's the million-dollar question. Reynolds paints herself as an advocate for gender equity, a noble cause indeed. But her actions speak louder than her words. She joined the Liberal Party's Women's Working Group a year after entering politics. But her true colors started to show when she directed her chief of staff to report an incident in her office to the police in a low-key manner. Her chief of staff, however, refused, citing moral and ethical grounds. Reynolds had to be convinced over several conversations that this approach was inappropriate. Neither of them knew a rape had occurred at the time, but the damage was already done. Reynolds claims she had a very limited recollection of her involvement in the events surrounding Higgins' rape. She insists she was not hostile towards Higgins after learning about the rape, and denies any cover-up or harassment. But here's the kicker. She called Higgins a lying cow while watching the interview where Higgins first disclosed her rape publicly. Reynolds claims she was angry, but was she angry about the rape or something else? That's for you to decide. Reynolds accepted in cross-examination that she had not apologized after staff complained about her statement. She found it stressful when the media suggested her position as a minister was untenable. She had to be forced by a legal deed to apologize to Higgins for calling her a lying cow, a process she found painful due to her lingering anger. But wait, there's more. Reynolds corresponded with the lawyer representing Higgins's rapist during the criminal trial, sending him catty comments about Higgins' court attire. She even sent confidential documents related to Higgins to a columnist at News Corp because she was incredibly angry. And if that's not enough, she referred a settlement paid to Higgins to the National Anti-Corruption Commission. In a shocking turn of events, Reynolds won a defamation case against Higgins, the woman raped in her office. Higgins now has to pay Reynolds $315,000 in damages, plus $26,000 in interest. This will likely bankrupt Higgins. Outside the court, Reynolds stated, "This has been an incredibly emotionally and financially taxing journey, but I never gave up on the truth and on seeking justice." But whose truth and whose justice? That's the question that keeps many awake at night. This article was first published in the print edition of the Saturday paper on August 30th, 2025, as a note on Linda Reynolds. For almost a decade, the Saturday paper has been at the forefront of Australian journalism, pursuing stories that others ignore, covering them with sensitivity and depth. From refugee policy to government integrity, from robo-debt to aged care, from climate change to the pandemic, we've been there, digging out stories that take time, holding politicians and the political class to account. Our journalism is fiercely independent, relying on the support of readers like you. By subscribing to the Saturday paper, you ensure that we can continue to produce essential, issue-defining coverage. In a country with a concentration of media ownership unlike anything else in the world, titles like ours are vital. Your subscription makes it possible. So, what do you think? Does Reynolds' actions align with her advocacy for gender equity? Or is there more to the story? The comment section is open for your thoughts.